Hey everyone, it's Types, and yesterday I made a video talking about the Pokemon TCG expanded format, which is honestly pretty cool. It's not the craziest thing around, but it's definitely a lot cooler than people talk about it, and it gets played. There are a ton of tournaments, but it is a really cool format. And one thing that's really interesting within the format is the different packages that support the different types. This is something that you look at standard, and let's take a look at just a deck that has a support package, like a type support package. I guess the one I'm looking for is Mega Lucario here. So you're looking at Mega Lucario. You can see that the deck runs, I'd say, Premium Power Pro and Fighting Gong are part of the support package for fighting, as is Rocky Fighting Energy. Rocky Fighting Energy is more mediocre. Premium Power Pro is very good, and Fighting Gong is really, really good there as well. And then you have like Lunatone and Solrock, which kind of make up the fighting package as well. But that's really good, but most other types don't really have stuff quite at that level, and Expanded has, all the strongest cards of the past 10, 15 years. Is it 15 years? Let me check. The oldest has black and white. Yeah, so actually like exactly 15 years and expanded there. And so there are some really powerful packages. Also, I do have something, this is not like a sponsor or anything, because sometimes I like do transitions. I'm worried people like skip ahead. But I have an actual question because I am making a video talking about the worst Pokemon that like synergies that go together. Something like, well, Lunatone and Solvac because they reference each other. Other cards that reference each other, like Fennel, which is a card referenced by Musharna. And someone I like asked what you call this. A couple of people said archetype, which doesn't make sense to me. And then someone said package. I don't think there's a standard wording, but cards that directly refer to each other. What's the name of them? So if someone knows that, if there's something I'm missing, tell me that, please. I really want to know. As somebody, I'm just gonna like post the video and call it something that might not make a ton of sense because again the wording is weird. But regardless, I wanted to ask you that before things actually started. Also, I'm looking at Streamlabs and it's being wacky. Ain't that fun? Regardless, we're talking about the different types, and I suppose we'll start with fighting, which actually, so I'm here in Limitless. I want to get a search feature that would like kind of do what I was looking for. If someone knows something better than this, I guess let me know. Obviously, it would be a little late at that point, but regardless, this is what I'm doing. Obviously, not all these cards are super good. Like Groudon here is not very good, and obviously not part of the fighting support package, but this will hopefully get all the cards that I need for it. I'm just going to be going over the best cards, so sorry fans like Terragon or something. But Fighting type obviously has some good cards. You look at Fighting Gong. Fighting Gong searches for a basic fighting energy and a basic, or a basic fighting Pokemon, reveals it, puts it into your hand, then shuffles your deck. This is a card, and as we go through this video, you'll see cards that are similar to each other. So we'll see Fighting Gong. I believe there's one for Grass and one for Psychic. And so those are essentially the same card, but for different types, and they are very good. They're very good in any type. Fighting Gong is for fighting, and it's very good. It's in standard, but very good in expand as well. Which again, expand is black and white on, so it has these older cards. And Premium Power Pro, increasing damage your fighting Pokemon do this turn by 30. Again, really nice. Just increasing damage is good. Speaking of increasing damage, there's also Strong Energy. Strong Energy is a special fighting energy, or it's a special energy. It provides fighting energy. It only works in a fighting Pokemon. This is slightly different than the modern special energies because it can't be attached to a non-fighting Pokemon, which matters some, but obviously in terms of the fighting support, it doesn't matter. So you just do 20 more damage and it's pretty good. They are definitely good in fighting decks. Those are, I believe, the main ones. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, obviously looking through here. Those are really amazing. Again, there is Lunatone, which is good. I'm trying to think of fighting and expanded, and off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that's super good in fighting. So I could be missing something obvious. I'm just going through the decks, and I can't think of anything, though, immediately. Fighting tends not to have very good support Pokemon. This video doesn't include random support Pokemon like Tapu Lele GX, which is a good card and is Psychic, but it's not specific to Psychic decks, really. There was also, there was Booklet Hill as well. And Diancie Prism Star. I guess we'll talk about Diancie Prism Star first. This one is a Prism Star Pokemon. If you're not familiar, they have this rule that's not a limitless here, but it says you can only have one Prism Star card in your deck with that name, and then they go to the lost one instead of the discard. And this just increases the damage you do with your fighting Pokemon by 20 if it's on your bench. So just like Strong Energy, similar to Premium Power Pro, boosting damage there. Then we also see Brooklet Hill. Brooklet Hill increases the Brooklet Hill does not increase damage here. This one searches for a basic fighting Pokemon, puts it onto your bench, or a basic water Pokemon. So this actually helps two types. There's a good chunk of stadiums that help two different types of Pokemon, and Berkeley Hill is one of them. I believe Berkeley Hill is the best of them. There's also one for some other types, but Berkeley Hill I think is considered the best. I also want to mention this video is about expanded, but a lot of this stuff applies to GLC just as well. Obviously, you can't play like Dancy Prism Star in GLC, but you can play a lot of these cards, and they are really staples as well. Though they are staples in expanded. Well, okay, I don't know if all of these cards are staples in expanded, but they are quite good. There are some other ones I will mention here because I'm going over all the 10 types, which again, 10 types is the types I'm talking about here, which you should also subscribe to the channel, 10 types. But Martial Arts Dojo is solid, increasing the damage you do there. I believe it does increase the damage, yeah, of non-Ultra Beasts, which is kind of weird. And it's basic fighting energy, but it's played in fighting decks. It's not played in other types of decks. There is also Grant, which increases damage. There are also some special energies that are like okay. Stone Fighting reduces the damage you take, but it's not that good. I mean, it's okay, but it's not amazing. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Just scanning through things. Fighting honestly has some mediocre support. I guess okay, Karina's solid as search as well. Arguable's support is pretty good in terms of the play it's seen. It's all right. I'd say it's not a true standout because with supporters you're looking at a higher standard in expanded. And in GLC though, this is pretty nice, I think. And then you have Karate Belt as well. This one theoretically is pretty good if you're down on prizes. The Pokemon this card's attached to cost one fighting less. I don't think it's seen too much play. I guess it's seen play in Hero Tier Garchomp though, which is an expanded deck there, or part of an expanded deck. I think that's all the ones super worth mentioning. Maybe there are some other ones, but overall these are the main ones. I actually didn't decide on order before this video, so I guess I'll just go in order from now on. So I'll look at Grass next. Grass has, oh, okay, these do all fit in one page. Grass has Force of Vitality. Force of Vitality is interesting. It previously had Force of Giant Plants, but Force of Giant Plants got banned because it let you just evolve turn one and essentially just win. So Force of Vitality is not as good as Force of Giant Plants, but still very good, allowing you to evolve turn one, or sorry, not turn one, but the turn you put the Pokemon into play, their first turn. So it is very good there. Again, not turn one, but turn one for or the first turn of a Pokemon. So Force of Vitality is good. I don't know how much play I've seen in expanded. I've like taken a look some and haven't seen it too much, but it's definitely quite powerful there. Thinking about grass, you also have netball as well here. Netball, I mentioned. Well, I mentioned fighting gong, and netball is the same thing. Your basic fighting, or sorry, basic grass Pokemon or basic grass energy there. Then there's also um, revitalizer, which is recovery, and there's what else? I'm trying to think of stuff that's actually good. I mean, grass is notoriously not good, or historically not very good. You look like Teal Sawyer Pontiacs and Standard, which is obviously good. Grass and Standard right now has decent support pieces with like Meganium and stuff like that. You have some like mediocre special energy like Growing Grass, which I don't even think is super worth mentioning here. There's also Gardenia's Vigor accelerating energy. You draw two and attach two grass energy cards from hand to one of your bench Pokemon. It is a cool card. I mean, it's also playing Regidrago in standard. Regidrago is obviously very good and expanded. It's by far the best deck, but Gardenia's doesn't really see play. There is also Rowlet and Lone Executor, I guess. This is, I guess, a grass support card. It's a good card searching your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from one of your grass Pokemon. And then if it's not a stage one, you can evolve into stage two. So it's kind of like that turn one evolution going second that you can't quite get with Force of Vitality, but if you do go first, it's pretty similar there and very powerful. Seen play with some pretty nasty expanded stuff there. Again, it is grass type support, kind of, but it's not looking like the same type of grass support you'll find in other decks necessarily. Overall, grass type is unfortunately kind of not super good. I mean, recently again, it's gotten some nice stuff, but historically, it's not amazing. Then we'll look at fire. Fire has some sick stuff. Also, by the way, I am doing the each type is represented by a letter. Fire is R because F is fighting there. But we see some really nice fire stuff. In standard, we don't have super impressive fire stuff. But looking back at it, we have some really cool stuff. Magma Basin is good, accelerating the fire energy to a bunch of Pokemon and damaging it. In terms of the amount of play it's seen, it's not been the craziest card, but it is a very nice card. Then we also look at. Sorry, I just got thrown off by this Sebastian, which is an older card, but reprinted in Celebrations. We see a Giant Hearth, which searches for fire energy alongside Fiery Flint. Flint does decouply. It searches for 4. You discard 2 energy from your hand, search for 4 fires. Fire Crystal recovers fire energy. Then we see Welder. Welder's amazing. Attach up to 2 fire energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and then draw 3 cards. This is like Gardenia's Vigor, except it just better because it just is. Honestly, most of the Pokemon are better. It legitimately was amazing, and in Expanded, it's not as crazy, I don't think. It's seen some play, certainly, though, and is a good card there. There are some good fire Pokemon in the same set. Unbroken Bonds is one of my all-time favorite sets, I guess, with Urshiman, Charizard, Volcanion, Salazzle, and Blacephalon, all good fire Pokemon there, though they're not necessarily the fire. They can be part of a fire toolbox, but they aren't the fire support package there, I wouldn't say. Heat Factory, Prism Star, discard a fire to draw 3. This is pretty good. It's better than Scorched Earth, which I didn't mention earlier, which works with both fire and fighting, but this is a good draw piece in fire decks. There's also Kiawe. Kiawe is not super good, but Kiawe is the same as Misty's Vitality, or it's like a fire version of Misty's Vitality, which you saw in the most recent set. So I wanted to point it out here. Then looking back, there again, I mentioned is Scorched Earth. There's Blacksmith for some energy acceleration, though it's worse than Welder there. Overall, for fire, it peaked in the late Sun and Moon era with these cards in here. It's a powerful energy acceleration and stuff you can do with energy in general. It's a really cool type for that reason. If you haven't played it, try it out and expand it. It's pretty fun. When we look at water, water is interesting here. We're going to look at so water has historically been a pretty good type. There's some weird stuff like Greninja I wouldn't say falls into it. I would say Dive Ball does, though. This is really good. I'm trying to think if there's Dive Ball for another type. I can't think of it off the top of my head. If there is, I'm sure I'll hit it, unless I miss it. Again, I am recording this yet again late. But you search for any water Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand. It's just good. It's Universal Search for water type Pokemon. Just a good card there. Archidus in the Hole is a really funny card. There's also Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick for fighting, but it's banned, so it's not expanded. But you put you put a water Pokemon for your card onto your bench, then draw 5. But only if it's last card in your hand. So really powerful, but kind of awkward to set up. Just a super sick card though. Paired with stuff like Blastoise and now with Baxcalibur to just accelerate a ton of water energy onto your board. This is a really cool thing for water in expanded. It historically is a thing that water has done a lot of, ultimately just accelerating a lot of energy. It's really good. Then we also see, I feel like there's Irida as well. Irida is kind of like, or I say kind of like, it's pretty much the same thing as Karina. Again, pretty nice, but I don't know how good it's been in expanded. Also, people toss into random decks in standard. I will say it was good, but not good in all of these decks here. And then we also look at Capacious Bucket searching for 2 water energy, which is fine, though there is an item that just searches for any 2 basic energy there. Oh, I do want to mention Quagsire here. This was a good card in standard, same as the new Dugong, so keep an eye out for that new Dugong, maybe with Misty's Vitality. Then there is, again, also Brooklet Hill, searching for a basic water Pokemon, putting it onto your bench once every turn as a stadium or fighting here. We actually saw some decks playing both water and fighting. This deck plays, I guess, 2 basic fighting Pokemon, 1 basic water Pokemon, so nothing crazy there. There are decks that kind of like tacked in some of the other type though, which is kind of cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yes, there's Aqua Patch. There we go. I knew I was forgetting something big. Aqua Patch accelerates a basic water energy from your discard to one of your bench water Pokemon. This we've seen in a few different types and is very, very good. Funnily enough, for water, it's not like crazy good because you often are accelerating to your water Pokemon using something like, where is it? Using something like Baxcalibur or even Frostmoth as well. Is Frostmoth not on this list, or am I just missing it? I'm not sure, but regardless, it's not quite as good as Baxcalibur in expanded there. There's also, I feel like there's got to be one other thing. I mean, there's some like special energies. Water, again, is a good type. Overall, I'd say there's a lot more like relatively mediocre, but not terrible water support cards. The special energies are like mediocre as well. Bubbly actually kind of good in standard with Whale. Oh, not that good, but okay in standard with Wailord. Regardless, though, water is mostly focused on accelerating a lot of energy, which is pretty cool. Moving on to lightning type. Lightning type, you're looking at a few different cards. This is in some ways the inspiration for this video. Of electric generator to get some energy on your board. You have speed lightning energy to draw when you attach. Also, you have a card that's actually not on this list, which I need to talk about, which is No, what is it? Oh, Voltaic. Yeah, Voltaic Lightning Energy, which increases the damage you do by 20. Again, this is the same as the Fighting Special Energy, except for Lightning here, or essentially the same. And it's very good. Increasing the damage you do by 20, very good, and seeing play in Expanded right now. We also see Electric, which I believe in Limitless is counted as the same as the old card, even though it's technically not. So this accelerates lightning energy to your bench. Expanded's not looking amazing. You're looking at more turbo stuff like Electric Generator. You do have Stormy Mountains as well to search for basic lightning Pokemon or basic dragon Pokemon. This is the opposite, or like the other version of Brooklet Hill. This is for lightning and dragon versus Brooklet Hills for water and fighting. So that's interesting there. Mostly Tapu Koko Prism Star, accelerating basic lightning energy to your bench Pokemon once during the game. It accelerates two there to one to two different Pokemon, which is very good. You have Thunderous Mountain as well, which reduces your attack cost by one lightning. Super good there. Paired with something like Pikachu and Zekrom and Miraidon EX. Miraidon EX does help you get set up. Not that one. This one. Here it is. To get your lightning Pokemon onto your bench. It's a bit of an attacker. Honestly, a pretty good lightning Pokemon. Less of a support package card and more of a main attacker, I guess. And it's in between. It definitely provides some good support as well. But Pikachu and Zekrom, definitely an attacker, has no ability there. Speaking of abilities, Zera Aura gives your Pokemon Lightning Energy, Free Retreat, which is pretty nice. Though with Latias, it's not looking as amazing. And then Electro Power, this is the same as Premium Power Pro, increasing the damage that Lightning Pokemon do by 30 to your points active. Again, very good here. We've seen this, yes, 3 times. We saw it for fighting, we saw it for lightning, and then we saw it for fusion strike Pokemon. Obviously not going to be like in any of these lists here, but it is similar. I can see Volkner. This is one of those like searching for an item. It's a lightning energy. It's not great, but it's a card that saw some play. And I think that's about it for Lightning. I will mention this has shown up a few times. So there are these special energies that provide a mix of types. There's the blended energies and the unit energies. They cover the 8 or 9 types of basic energy. Some of you may be thinking, what's the 9th type of basic energy? And we won't talk about it because then there would be more than 10 types. And, 10 types is awesome and you should subscribe or something like that. But regardless, you got this Lightning support. Which is again in a similar era. I say just like a couple of months before the fighting era that was like really crazy. That's when Lightning was really amazing. But again, there have been some newer Lightning cards. Miraidon EX wasn't ever amazing in standard, and expanded though. I don't know if it's amazing in standard or expanded either, but it is pretty cool. And Lightning has some really, I'd say, explosive pieces, which matches with the expanded format. Then we see, let me reload the text bar. The next type is Psychic, I believe. Psychic has some really amazing support pieces. We have Telepathic Psychic Energy for Pokemon Search. A really good card in Standard. Not sure exactly how well it's performed in Expanded so far, but I gotta imagine that's at least decent. You have Wondrous Patch, which is the same thing as Aqua Patch there. And we'll see that in actually 2 more types as well. We also have Strange Timepiece, my goat. But that's not going to be so good. I will say Moonlight Hill is interesting. I don't think it's seen much play in Expanded, but it is a cool card. Sorry, not Moonlight Hill. Mystery Garden. There we go. Mystery Garden is a cool card that lets you draw some cards. It's seen some play, but it is interesting. Not sure exactly how good it is, though. Gardevoir EX is another psychic support piece. This is similar to Bax Caliber, and it is seen play as one of the newer cards / decks in Expanded, I guess. I mean, it's not like even in Standard, but it is new-ish. Generally, you're seeing more like situational cards as the cards that are played and expanded, like lilies and stuff like that are newer. But Gardevoir throwing just tons of psychic energy is really good there. Then we also see Fog Crystal. This is the same thing as Netball and as Fighting Gong, but for psychic there, which is obviously really good. Sorry, I just saw Mewtwo Reunion, which it only has the one card because I guess they're grouped together in name. I assume someone confirmed that in the comment section, but I think that's what's going on there. There's also like Malamar. I don't know if that really makes the cut, but it was a good card in Standard. Dimension Valley as well, reducing your psychic Pokemon's attack cost is interesting and expanded there for some really interesting toolbox stuff. And then there's some really good like disruptive Pokemon. I guess Wobbuffet's kind of a psychic support Pokemon. It ability locks non-psychics. Calling it a psychic support Pokemon feels kind of weird, but it is interesting there. And then there is, I think there's one more that I'm missing. Yes, Mysterious Treasure. Mysterious Treasure is very good. Discarding a card from your hand to search for any Psychic or Dragon Pokemon, reveal it, put into your hand. Funnily enough, the top deck in Expanded uses both Psychic and Dragon Pokemon. Uses mostly Dragon, but incorporates a lot of Psychic Pokemon, partially because of Mysterious Treasure, and Psychic also has amazing support pieces. So Mysterious Treasure, a really nice card there. And overall, Psychic has some really nice pieces and really nice Pokemon as well. Moving on to the next type, that would be, I guess, Fighting, which I did. So then I guess we'll go to Darkness, which is represented by the letter D. Of course, Dragon is not. So we see that Darkness has some interesting cards here. Specifically, we're looking at guess Dark Patch, exploring to a basic Darkness energy from your discard to one of your bench Darkness Pokemon. Again, the type is Darkness, as you can see here, a little less popping up. It is not Dark, even though it is called Dark Patch. So yeah, that's something people get wrong. It doesn't matter too much. People will, know what you're talking about. But the type is Darkness. I think there are a lot of people who don't know that the type is actually called Darkness. Most people know this Lightning, and most people know this Colorless, but yeah, wanted to mention that. Then there's a bunch of like decent Darkness Pokemon. Darkness was probably at its best with Dark Patch's first printing, or at least within the modern era, which was in the the early Black and White era. So you can see the Darkness is, I'd say, not a crazy type here. I mean, Darkness as well as Metal, they tend to get less stuff, less cards and stuff like that. You can see like one of the top quote Darkness Pokemon is Munkidora, which isn't even Darkness here. Um, in terms of play and standard that uses Darkness stuff there. Overall, I can't believe Pheasant is considered a competitive card. It's been played like a few times there, which is funny. But overall, Darkness isn't the most amazing type here. There's some interesting stuff that like has Darkness synergy here. Got Piers kind of like Volkner or Karina, though it's like worse than those. Certainly worse than Karina. And Karina ain't all that. There is, oh yes, there's the Darkrai EX, giving your Pokemon with Darkness Energy no retreat, like the Zeraora GX there. There is also Black Market Prism, which is cool for giving you plus prizes. There's Dark City, reducing your retreat cost. There's Weavile GX, moving Darkness Energy around, paired with Glare Moltres V, accelerating it. And you have some Pokemon that do damage based on Darkness Energy and stuff like that. Overall, though, it's more like this deck and not this overall generic support package like the other types. So Darkness really doesn't have quite the same level. I guess Pekron EX is a switching card as well for Darkness decks, similar to Darkrai EX there, though Darkness isn't like super amazing. Even something like Dark Claw is just essentially outclassed by the card Muscle Band as well. This stuff isn't looking super crazy. Even like Toxtricity, a cool card, isn't. It's not all that. Looking at Metal, though again, Dark Patch is good. But moving on to Metal. Speaking of Dark Patch, we have Metal Saucer, which is like the same thing, but for Metal, it's the only one not called something Patch. But accelerates a basic Metal energy from your discard to one of your bench Metal Pokemon, of course. So it's pretty good. Then we have a bunch of tanky stuff. This is in the same era that we saw the powerful Lightning and Fire stuff. Looking at Metal Goggles and Metal Frying Pan, both being pretty good, and Metal Core Barrier, I guess, as well. Then we also see um, the special energy, shield energy, actually not. It reduces it by, oops, wrong thing. I reduces it by 10, so it's not amazing. The Iron Defender does reduce it by a bit more, though not the best card there. Want to mention it because in that clump of amazing cards from Mega Evolution, it's not that good. But just like the EX searching for Metal Evolutions is nice again. That is cool. Overall, though, Metal, again, doesn't have the most amazing support here. You have some damage buffs, you got like Delmise and stuff, but overall, I'd say it's somewhat, mediocre slash underwhelming type with its support compared to a lot of these other ones. Though again, it's not like terrible. I mean, Metal Sauce is a really good card. Moving on to Dragon. Dragon does not have a lot of super powerful support cards. You look at like a good chunk of these, and they're just Dragon counters. But it has some of the best. So Red Draco you see here, it's not really a Dragon support card, but it is the best Pokemon. Well, I don't know if the best Pokemon, but the best deck in the format and expanded. There is, again, Mysterious Treasure, which I mentioned before, searching for Dragon Pokemon, just super good. Stormy Mountains, again, searching for basics, can be nice there. And then this I think is, I guess, if I had to say what the best card in expanded is, I might say it's a double Dragon energy. Obviously, it helps Dragon Pokemon, and it does exactly what it sounds like, providing 2 energy of every type to a Dragon Pokemon. Just really good, really. I mean, the Dragon Pokemon are very good as well. Draco V-Star is very good. Dragon Bolt EX, copy by Draco V-Star is very good. Dragon Bolt EX by itself is certainly not terrible. And there's some other ones as well that are very good. So Dragon type is very good, and Double Dragon Energy is the main contributor. Then we have the last type, which is Colorless here. Colorless, we got, just seeing this one coming. Searching up Colorless type, It's all these things that mess with colorless energy, doesn't it? Well, there aren't too many of these here, to be honest, that are colorless type support. Let me see. I mean, Altaria is, Winona, like GLC Winona is one, but um, the main colorless cards here, and I'm not going to count double colorless energy. Double colorless energy is very good, but it's not a colorless type support thing really. The main one you'd be looking at here would be, I'd say, I think powerful colorless energy, increase the damage you do by 20. It's like the and again, this only works in colorless Pokemon. It can attach to anything, but only boost the damage of colorless. But it's the same as or not powerful, strong energy as well, which is the fight one, as well as the lightning one, voltaic, or yeah, voltaic lightning energy there. Trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, there is something like Fan Rotom, which we have in standard. But overall, I don't think Colorless has too much support because, I mean, it's Colorless, right? You can use any type of energy, it slots into any deck. And so you don't really see too much type-specific support. I mean, look at the different cycles of special energy, and we've only seen Colorless in one of the three, so that's interesting there. Overall, though, I suppose some of you might want this type, which is why they got. I'll give you like 3 seconds of this. This is what you're looking at. It's mid. Let's be honest, fairy isn't that good. At first I thought there was some like good fairy card that I was forgetting about, but now I don't actually think there is. I mean, not that these are all terrible, but obviously fairy is kind of forgotten about, which I don't mind too much. I'm pretty happy with that because there's 10 types, which again you should subscribe because it's fun and exciting. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me your thoughts on these cards because I think they're really interesting. Tell me if I missed anything. I think I hit everything. Obviously, there's some stuff that's good that I didn't necessarily talk about because it doesn't necessarily fit. And again, a question I asked about at the beginning, I really do want an answer. If you could give me one, because again, I have like no idea the answer about like what you call cards that refer to each other. But regardless, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you like and subscribe. It really does help support me in the channel. Legitimately, I do appreciate it as much as I kind of mess around about it. It is something I really enjoy when you do. And tell me if you want to see more expanded stuff. Maybe me talking about I don't know, there's a lot of things to talk about in expanded, and I love to do it. If you want to see me play in like live expanded or even full expanded, though that's kind of hard to do. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video. And also huge shouts to all my YouTube members because you again really help support my channel as well.